I'm not going to ask you what is keeping you awake by night, because you already said that. And I want to make a short intro explaining how I met Alberto. I don't know if you remember.
No.
That was some years ago. And we were organizing a meeting with many of our suppliers, our brands in Barcelona. And the problem we had at that moment in time, it was very difficult for our suppliers to understand what was behind internet. And obviously what we were trying to do was to convince them to play with us and participate with Buy VIP. So somebody told me there is one guy who can explain to people what internet is, and then people like internet. They said, Alberto Knapp. So let's give a try, right? So we invited Alberto to that speech, and it was amazing because it was entertainment. People came back saying, you know, I think that the internet is a big opportunity for all of us. So that was like 3 years ago. And you see how people, companies will still need guys like Alberto to tell us what is here, maybe in front of us, but we don't see. So that was my intro. Thank you for that moment and for the years which came later. I have 3 questions for you. This is something you can answer, and it's going to be very interesting if here in the audience you are thinking about having your new business pretty soon. Is what trends you see in the internet technology market which can change the world in the coming years? And it could be a good option for all of us to launch our next business.
Oh my God, what a question.
We are taking notes, Jesus.
Actually, I don't have a very good picture. I think, or very optimistic picture, sorry for my English. I'm scared because on internet we are seeing a huge consolidation, which means it's getting into a mature media, which means the consumers just have 1 or 2 brands for each category on their mind. So, as I said before, I think it's fun to be on internet because you can move faster and fail lighter. But I think that in the next years, this is getting serious. So if you want to, you can build a cheap startup, but you need a lot of marketing, like by BIP, which is a really good example. So in the coming years, we will stop talking about technology or technology gadgets, and we will start talking about real business, real marketing, real value proposition, and brand building, which is fun, but for me it's sad because it means tons of money. So I think we need in Spain bigger funds, or bigger investors. When I see right now little startups that come up to me with ideas, every time the idea is great, but at the end the question is always the same: how do you get the consumer to remember you? So either you get into a big trend or you get bought. I have a friend in Chicago, he has a company like mine, it's called Manifest Digital, and they are in a building where Google has offices, and they told us that all the startups want to have offices in the same building because it's a fact that if you share building, you can get bought by Google, in the bathroom, I guess. But you have more opportunities, more chances, because they see you, they say, hey, these guys are fun, let's buy them. And there are the bathrooms always. You can always play on that. And so I think that's consolidation is a big trend. And then there is the mobile phone area we all talk about, but I've been working on mobile for a long time. It's the same. How many applications can somebody remember inside his mobile phone? So at the end, maybe we'll go through Facebook into our mobile applications or whatever, I don't know. But there is an opportunity, but you also have to be really fast. And being fast, time to market is now really, really important. And that scares me because time to market means killing people in the way, when you are running, like when you go really fast, you kill people on your way, you burn money, and it's really dangerous. But I think time to market is now a really also huge trend.
Thank you. I know that you are an investor and you meet a lot of entrepreneurs. if you could choose two advices to give them, so they try to avoid some of the mistakes, failures we are discussing today, which would be those two advices?
As an investor, it's very difficult for me because I don't like investors and I don't like invest money. So I always say don't get money, but then I want to put my money into other people's life to have part of it. What I will say to any entrepreneur right now is that if you do something, think about where are you going to be in 3 years if the business fails. And don't do anything that goes out of your comfort zone. What do I mean? When I started the cocktail, I understood the risk I was taking, so I did a downshifting and started living with very little money. I had no debts. I never had any debts for any. I always pay upfront for anything. But I had to do downsizing for maybe 4 years, which is something that for my personal freedom didn't affect at all. But many people start business without thinking what they believe is their personal freedom, if it is worth the money or not. I don't know if I make myself clear. It means if you want to be rich and to earn a lot of money, that should be your goal, and everything else should be secondary. And if you want to build a great company, that should be the goal. Or if you want to learn through the process, that should be the goal. And you need to have the means in your life that allow you to get that. So if you're an entrepreneur, I would say downshifting is very important to have more freedom. Sometimes you can't do that if you have a family or whatever. Everybody has a different personal state. And the second thing is to be very careful in choosing your partners. To have partners is more risky than to get married, and people don't understand that. It's easier to get a divorce than to get a partner out of a company, and that can also keep you awake at night. Because if you have different partners that think different things or have different mindsets, it's really hard to run a business when you have the enemy inside. And this happens like 90% of the times. This is not something weird. But you never think about, every time you start with somebody, this is like couples. You always start thinking everything will be wonderful. No, it will be terrific, no, terrible. So start defining everything at the beginning and make very clear how you're going to deal with your partners if you have problems.
Thank you. And the last one, do you have like a Bible book which could be of use for people who want to launch their own business and get some good point of reference in written?
Like a book I would recommend. The two books I recommend everybody is the Memoirs of Stefan Zweig, just to get a context of where you are building your business, what humanity means. And the second one is of the founder of Zappos. I never remember his name.
Delivering Happiness.
Yeah, Delivering Happiness. I don't know if you guys read it, but it's amazing because it's very American. It's about a guy who earned tons of money, lost it really fast, and his last exit was Zappos, which was a weird thing, selling shoes online. Nobody believed in that. They tell you why they ended up in Las Vegas, which is also very, very American. They just didn't have money to pay the San Francisco, I think, offices or whatever, so everybody go to Las Vegas. It's cheaper. Think about that here, trying to move people from Madrid to Segovia. That's impossible. People won't move. They will say, no, there's no way I'm going to move. And it's an incredible book because it tells you all the failures he committed and how to survive. And it's really, really good.